Hello and welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. So there's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, all because of this virus, this thing that we can't see and apparently we can't do much about. I don't want to talk much about it because I want to keep things light, and YouTube's taking down videos of people who talk too much about it. So I just want to say that I care about every single one of you that watch my videos. Stay safe. Stay home if you can. And be sure to wash your hands regularly. It will help tremendously. Other than that, let's get into our email. Let's see what we have going on for today. Maybe if it wants to open up. Let's see, I'd picked out some for today. Let's see what I've got here. Let's do this one first. It says, I hear you work with computers. I need a new PC. Have you heard of Deer Hunting Simulator? I want to play that. I'd like it to be done in 4 days. I worry about used parts. My brother has Seagate in his PC. He says they were the best. Sent from my phone. All right, so a budget of $4,000 to play a Deer Hunting Simulator at recommended spec. Let's go ahead and accept that one. The next one, let's see, I think it was this one. Says, I hear you work with computers, and my PC is ready for some overclocking. I'd like the CPU to be custom water cooled. Can you overclock the CPU to 43 megahertz? I know used parts can be cheaper, but I'd like new ones, please. Seems a bit dusty inside. Look forward to hearing back from you, Rose. So $1,200 budget to install a custom water cooling loop. Let's go ahead and accept that one. We'll come back to it in just a minute and get parts. Let's see. This is a diagnose and fix. Let's take a look at this one. It says, hello, human. I'm Gradball, new supervisor, excuse me, at Goblin Mining Confederacy mine number 2049. We be raided by bad adventurers, kill many goblins, destroy much equipment. Now mine not work. You fix computer, we pay. Oh my. Gradball supervisor, mine number 2049. Goblin Mining Confederacy. So a budget of $1,800. It must be something pretty expensive broken. Let's go ahead and accept that one. Let's take a look at these stats. I'm just curious. 9,900K. Isn't that one of those tiny little cases? I think it is. GTX 980 Ti Gaming Golden Edition. All right. We'll have to take a look at that when it comes in. Let's go back to this one. Let's pull up Will It Run? Deer Hunting Simulator. 16 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of VRAM, 20 gigs of hard drive, an i7 8700K, and a GTX 1080 are what's needed for recommended spec. So I'm going to step away, get a build put together for this one, and I will be right back. All right, so for this Deer Hunting Simulator build, we're going to go with the Asus ROG Strix X299E gaming motherboard, an i7 9800X, 360mm RGB AIO water cooler, 8 sticks of Patriot Viper steel, 8 gig, 3200 megahertz. We're going to go with a Asus RTX 2080 Super, 2 terabyte Barracuda drive, 2 terabyte ADATA M.2 drive, 750 watt Cooler Master power supply. We're going to put that in the Corsair Crystal Series 570X RGB case. We're going to add a couple of RGB fans, a Corsair 140 and 120 RGB fan to be exact. All right, so let's close that out. Let's go up here to this one where he wanted some overclocking help, water cooling for the CPU, and overclock it. So let me get custom water cooling shop opened up. I'm going to step away, get some parts put in the cart for this one, and I will be right back. All right, so before I stepped away, I forgot to show the PC stats. So let's pull that up. They want custom water cooling for an i9 7980XE. They've also got what looks like one stick of RAM. So we're going to grab them, since that's another X299 and it likes quad channel RAM. We're going to grab them 3 more sticks of that HyperX Predator 8 gig 3600 megahertz. We're also going to get an Alpha Cool block, an EK RGB reservoir, and an EK RGB 360 millimeter radiator. All right, so I think we've got everything. Make sure we accepted this repair. It is in transit. We will see what is wrong with it when it comes in. But let's go ahead and order everything for next day delivery. Let's go end our day. We can get in our repair and our parts and our upgrade stuff, and then we can get to work. Go to work. All right. Here's all our parts. Let's grab the diagnose one. Oh, that's a pretty small case. Put that one there. Let's grab this overclock one and put it there. That's a big old case. Let's grab this build and put it there. We'll grab the sticky note. Get that put on the workbench. But let's take a look at this little guy. And I took off the wrong side of the case. So diagnose and fix. Let's get... What in the heck? That thing is just hovering in midair. This case has magic tricks. Let's see if it powers on. Absolutely nothing. Alright, let's start taking stuff out. We'll start with the power supply. We'll see if that's what happens to be broken. It says it's used, but in good shape. So next, let's see. Little case is going to prove to be hard to work on, isn't it? I doubt the graphics card would keep it from starting, but let's just see. Nope, it's not broken. Get that big passive cooler off of there. And we can get everything off of this motherboard, hopefully. Because it is probably the motherboard. Possibly the CPU. I don't know, they had a very large repair budget. So we're going to take a look at all of the above. This thing is just, that's tripping me out. Just hovering there in midair. It doesn't remove it, it just flips it up. Okay. Well, let's look at their CPU. Their CPU is broken. They've got a 9900K. Do we happen to have one of those in stock? We do not. We will have to order a 9900K. Their motherboard is also broken. What about their RAM? They've got one stick of broken RAM. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember all this stuff. So, Trident Z Silver 8 gig 4500 megahertz and a 9900K. Let's start with that, and then we'll come back and get their motherboard. Oops. So, we got a 9900K. We also need Trident Z Silver. What was it? I've already forgotten. What was it? 4500 megahertz? That seems right. We'll check it when we go look at the motherboard, because it was an Asus something. So it was, yeah, 8 gigs, 4500 megahertz. And an Asus Z370G. Z370G. think that's it right there. Yeah, that's getting on up there. Okay, well, let's do same day delivery. Let's buy it now. Hopefully, I ordered all the right parts. We'll find out in a minute when we start putting this crazy case back together. Let's grab the new motherboard. We'll get that installed. Let's see, let's get this thing ready for CPU, RAM. And I think the M.2 will go down there. So let's get the 9900K. Let's get rid of that broken one. Get the 9900K in there. Can't believe they have a passive cooler on this thing. Let's get the memory installed next. Let's get rid of the broken one. And we'll get all 4 sticks of this RAM reinstalled. Let's grab our storage. Get that in next. Get some thermal paste on that CPU. And we will get this big passive cooler installed. Then we can get their 980 Ti Golden Edition back in. And we can probably cable this thing up now. See if it works. Uh-oh. I don't know what I just clicked on. I clicked on something. Does it power? Let's hop into the BIOS. Let's make sure their XMP's on since they've got that expensive RAM in there. Hopefully this thing boots. All right. Looks like we can close this hovering piece. And we can get the PCI lock and side panels reinstalled. And we can get this thing out in the hallway so we can start working on this upgrade. All right, out in the hall with you. And on to this one. So they want custom water cooling and an overclock. Get this case taken apart. We can get these parts out of our way. It is quite dusty. Let's go ahead and blow this dust out of here. It's almost hard to see on that green. I don't even know if the motherboard's dirty. Doesn't really look like it. Nothing on the back looks too bad. Not too bad. We'll get some thermal paste on there. Let's get some custom water cooling parts on here. Let's see. We're going to put this 360mm radiator. Get that all screwed down. Let's get this RGB reservoir in here. And we can go ahead and get our CPU block on. This Alpha Cool. We'll get that screwed down. Let's get this thing ready for some RAM. We did buy more RAM for them. 7 sticks more to be exact. Man. Every time I click on something, it lights up something else. Crazy. All right, let's go to memory. What the heck? Incompatible. Oh, I guess I only ordered 3 sticks of RAM. I thought I ordered more than that. Oh, that was for the other build. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore what I say. get these sticks of RAM in here. We'll close these clips. No point in having them open. Let's see, can we tell? I think that says out. So, how do we want to run this? Let's see, if we go from here to there, we can come off of this one and run to the in, and then from the out back to the radiator. I think that might be our best path. Well, let's get some rigid. We don't have any green. We'll run some rigid pipe. That looks stupid. At least make this thing look nice. Oh my gosh. Too many bins. What? I'm trying to fix you so you're not so stupid looking. There we go. All right. We'll go from this to the in, and we will not go that way. There we go. And let's move this over a little bit. That looks pretty good. Let's accept that one. Then we can run from this up here to the radiator. Let's see. I know. We'll fix it in a minute. Let's move this up a little bit. And then we'll come... Whoa, what'd I do? What is this scenario? Let's move this back just a hair. Straighten everything up. Move that down just a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's get some coolant in there. Let's see. Maybe some green opaque. I don't know. What? Missing cables. Guess it would help if it was cabled up. Alright, now let's try to get some green opaque. I don't know if it's going to be the right color. Nope, that looks terrible. No, stop. Stop running through. You look awful. Maybe just some green flecked. Oh my gosh, we gotta wait for it to run through the whole blasted thing. Okay, now we're gonna wait for it to... There we go. Alright, let's just do some green flecked. Hopefully that will look a little bit better. Still give a little hint of green. I don't know. It'll work. I'm okay with it. While we're waiting on that to run through, let's put a little bit of this case back together. We can put this dust filter on. And we can also put this backside panel on. Yeah, that green fleck isn't bad. I can live with that. Let's power this thing on. Let's hop into the BIOS. Let's make sure our XMP is on. Excuse me. And they wanted this overclock to 43. Tried at 1.55 volts. Really? Oh, okay. Watch that not be their actual boot drive, though. No OS found. Should have guessed. Why in the world would you have an SSD and not put your operating system on it? Let's hop back into the BIOS, make sure it's going to boot to that ADATA drive. Because there's no reason to have a nice fast SSD and then have your OS on a spinning platter hard drive. All right. So these colors are completely wacky, but I'm kind of okay with it because the case is kind of wacky anyway. But we need to put OCCT on there and make sure that our overclock is stable. So we'll let this thing restart. Then we'll run OCCT, see if 1.55 volts is enough for that overclock. We'll see if we blue screen here. ADC 85. Seems like it's pretty stable to me. On a little over 300 watts, 335. Not too shabby. Well, let's get the glass side on this thing. And we can get this out in the hall and get started on this build for Deer Hunting Simulator. Let's get all these panels off. We got to get rid of these fans. There's no fan in the back. We are going to put a fan in the top, so let's get access to that. Case is pretty well stripped. So let's get our motherboard in. Couldn't think for a second there. Oh, let's get rid of that broken thing. We don't need that in our inventory. Clogging it up. We've got the Asus X299 motherboard. We've also got 8 sticks of RAM. Oh my, there we go. So let's get our processor in there. The 9800X. As well as our 8 sticks of RAM. Let's see, what are we at? This Patriot Viper Steel Series. Let's see if we can just blast through this pretty quick. Get all 8 sticks. And one more. Oops. There we go. Let's go ahead and get some storage in this thing. We've got this ADATA 2 terabyte M.2 drive. Gonna go right there. We've also got, oh, we didn't take off the other side of this. We've also got a 2 terabyte Barracuda drive. We're gonna pop right there. Get some stuff out of our way. Let's get some thermal paste on that CPU, and we can go ahead and get our cooler installed. It is this Antec Mercury. Get that screwed down. Let's get some fans in this thing before I forget. We've got this 140 we're going to put up here in the top. And we've got 120 somewhere. Is that the one? Nope. There it is. We've got a 120 for the back. Let's go ahead and get our graphics card in there. Got the Asus RTX 2080 Super. And we can go ahead and get our power supply in there as well. This is the Cooler Master 750 watt gold. Okay. So, what color should we wire this thing up? I don't really know what color this thing's gonna light up. I'd like to do one of these multicolored ones here. I think Asus stuff has some red. Maybe we'll do this. Got some blue, some red, some white, some black. What? I can't wire up this top fan. Well, that's just silly. Not enough fan headers? That's crazy. It's crazy talk, man. On an X299 board? One fan header? Is that for real? Alright. Let's go ahead and get a USB drive in here. Let's put a little bit of this case back together. This grid goes on the front. This grid goes on the top. Get the top panel put back on since we cannot put a fan up there. And we'll get the front panel put on since I think we're done at the front. To power this thing up, we can hop into the BIOS, so we will turn on our XMP. Make sure we're booting from the right drive. We will let it install the OS. We're probably going to change some colors. But before we do, I'm going to finish putting some side panels on. Or at least this side panel. Oh no, there is red and blue, and there is red and blue on the cables. Maybe I won't change any colors. That's actually pretty nice looking. Let's go ahead and put this side panel on. Take a look at our handiwork. I think it turned out really nice. I don't mind the two-tone color since our cables have multiple colors on them as well. Let's get this thing put out in the hallway. We can collect some money. Let's close that out. Let's collect this. 5 stars. Excellent. Let's find the rest of these that we did. There's the build. 5 stars. And this one, 5 stars. CPU's super cool now, and the system's really quiet. Couldn't be happier. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Looks like we're still unlocking parts. I thought when we hit level 30, everything would be unlocked, but apparently maybe once we fill up this bar at level 30, everything gets unlocked. The X570 Aorus Extreme. Very cool. Got some daily deals and more emails for more episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified as soon as a new video goes live. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. I will see you in the next episode.